Addiction Solutions Victoria offer personalised and affordable addiction treatments and family support packages delivered in the privacy and safety of people's own homes. The ASV Online Family Support Program is based on researched strategies to help reduce the length and severity of harmful addictive behaviours.
Step 2. Exiting the drama triangle and empowering our family, remembering that this is my life, it's not a dress rehearsal.
The purpose of this session is to stay in the moment. This is our life, it's not a dress rehearsal. If we keep on rushing forward, worrying about what might happen in the future, we get really anxious. If we look back, we get really depressed. I should have, could have, would have, and everything would be all right. But if we stay in the moment and focus on what we have to do now, we can actually do something productive in that moment. People can become overwhelmed by their emotions, rushing forward and looking back. So it's really important to recognise that by taking care of yourself and staying in the moment, you can get better outcomes. What family members I've experienced seem to do is magnify all the problems. They're like Sherlock Holmes with a magnifying glass inspecting their family member all the time. All that's doing is causing them more stress and strain, and the family member just continues to do what they need to do to maintain their addiction. And we don't get to come back and repeat this time over again. So if we've got a function that we have to go to, instead of worrying about the outcomes and all the other issues that might happen, the thing is that we have to put ourselves in the moment and carry out what we need to do for ourselves. We can't control what someone else is doing, but we can control what we're doing. Often families get into what I call the drama triangle, and there's a theory being developed by Cartman, which you can see on the screen now. See the drama triangle? Do you recognise any of it? They're the 3 roles families play when they're enmeshed in a real drama with their family member. And they can go round and round in circles, trying to rescue their family member. And then because of the circumstances that evolve, they become a victim. And then they get angry and cross, and then they're yelling at them. And then something else happens again, and they start to rescue, and they go round and round in this cycle. One family member told me that's what they were doing with their family, always rescuing their son. The mother said, "Oh my goodness, I can't believe it. He's going to lose his job. He's going to do this is going to happen," always predicting the outcomes before they happened. And after our session, she came back the next week and she said, "I can't believe it. On the weekend he came rushing in because something had happened the night before and he couldn't drive his car and he left it a long way away and I was going out. And he said, 'Mum, you've got to drive me to pick up the car.' It was like half an hour away at least. 'And if you don't, I won't be able to go to work tomorrow. It'll be your fault.' In the past," she said, "I would have assumed it would have been my fault, that I had to drive him, and I was trying to think of what that strategy was that we'd been talking about. And whilst I'm sitting there thinking, oh, what was it? What did I have to do? I know it was something I couldn't even remember. My mind went blank. I was so overwhelmed again. And then he said, 'Oh, stuff it. I'll go get my friend to take me. You're useless,' and stormed off." I was thrilled. I couldn't believe it. I was able to go out and do what I'd planned. But in fact, I recognised that had I driven him, trying to rescue him, I would have got so angry by the time I got there. We would have got into a fight. He would have opened the door, slammed it and told me where to go. I would have been victim again of the circumstances, and we would have been going around and round in that drama triangle that we spoke about. I can't believe how lucky I was that I actually stopped to think about it. I couldn't remember what it was I was going to do, but actually putting that space in between me thinking about it and the impatient, impetuous nature of my son at the time was a great outcome for us all. So that was a great lesson for me, and I'm really thrilled. So that's what I want you to think about when we go into those emotional states. Catastrophizing, awfulizing, as they call it, thinking of the worst possible outcomes that might happen in the future if we don't keep on rescuing them. So that's why families constantly rescue them, in the thinking that they're saving them from the consequences of what might happen. But what they're actually doing is extending their period of time of addiction. And this can go on for years. I've even had people who are living with their family members, living with them who's 40 or more, or the partners, or whatever the situation might be. So it's very important to remember, if you think you needed to do that, remember what you might be able to do in the future, which is looking at these new options, which is being a creator, as you can see on the screen now. And now I'd like you to look at the empowerment triangle. You can be the creator, the coach, or the challenger in the future. The creator, obviously, creates opportunities. You can always ask open questions. What might you do? How might you do it? What do you think you could do? The coach, well, how could you do that better? What might you put in place next time so that that didn't happen? And the challenger. The challenger, I have a favourite line. Oh, when they come to you with an issue, that is a problem. That's a challenge for you. But I know you'll work out what to do. You're good at that. What you're doing is handing it back to them. And that's the most important thing you can do. Because what we're doing is giving them responsibilities. We're also helping them not to be dependent. Because dependent people rely on you to choose and save them from all the outcomes that they've caused. So by creating opportunities, coaching them in different ways they can do things, and challenging them and raising this question, that is a challenge for you, but I know you'll work out what to do. You're giving them the opportunity to become independent adults. So whether it's any family member, telling people what to do doesn't really help. All it does is keep them powerless. What we want them to be empowered to think and act on their own part and not rely on you to do it for them. Sometimes family members feel that's a role for them, that they can do that. But in actual fact, remember, what we want is people to be independent adults, owning their own decisions and the consequences of their behaviour. So in the future, when a situation comes up, think of the mother with the son rushing in, take me quickly, rush, giving up all what she was going to do and realising she'd get into an argument at the end and it would be a useless night for her again. This is not a dress rehearsal. This is your life. You don't get to come back and do it again. So if you're going to spend all your time mopping up after someone else and not living the life you need to do, what sort of example are you setting as well? So now there's an opportunity, a challenge for you, but I know you'll be able to do it. Good luck.
You have now completed Step 2 of the ASV Family Solutions program. Before viewing Step 3, please refer to and complete the Step 2 section of the ASV Family Solutions booklet.